What's up, guys? Coming to you today with a full Sunday of Week 18 NFL football action here on January 5th. It's the last week of the NFL regular season. We've got playoffs right around the corner. We're going to be giving out picks on every single game today. We're going to look at plays against the spread and a few over-under spots. I'll, of course, give you my favorite underdog and my massive lock of the day, so buckle up. We have a great video for you in this one. Slam that like button as a New Year's present to me, guys. Really appreciate all the likes we've been getting on the video. Yesterday was awesome. Almost made it to 500 likes. Let's see if we can crush 500 likes at least in this big Sunday NFL video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. We're at around 66,000 subscribers, trying to make it to 100,000. Had a friend text me and say, this is going to be the year you make it to 100K. We'll see. We'll see if we can make that happen. That would be amazing. Big shout out to all the new subscribers out there. Also, get in the comments. Let me know anything you have to say, any questions you have about this NFL slate, any comments you have about the video, any suggestions you have for me. I'm more than happy to get back to any and all of you down there in the comments every single day. Guys, make sure you're also checking the pinned comment throughout the day on these videos. That's where I put my favorite picks every single day. That's where you'll find the plays that I like the best every single day. And make sure you're checking back a couple times per day, because I could end up, updating those with injury news coming out, or, results of some games changing, what's going to be going on in the other games, in terms of everybody playing or not playing. And also injury news can come in at the last second. So make sure you're checking on that pinned comment. Also, get over to stumpthespread.com, check in on potentially becoming a premium member over there, coming off a nice day over on the premium side, cashing a 10, by far the biggest unit play that we've had. Well, saying this year seems a little disingenuous because the year just started, but the biggest play we've had in NFL this season by far, a 10 unit play there on the Carolina Panthers +3. That was a scary one, but it does end up cashing there in the end. So definitely want to consider going over there to stumpthespread.com, becoming a premium member. Check out all the free stuff over there as well and get on that free email list. But guys, we'll break that all down here in a bit. Let's go ahead and dive in and look at some NFL football games here on a very, very busy Sunday. First up, we're going to be with the New Orleans Saints as they go on the road to take on the Atlanta Falcons. This game is a matchup of two teams that are both knocked out of playoff contention. The Saints, they're 6-10 on the season, haven't had a terrible year overall. They've won their last 4 in a row. Maybe they've found their quarterback of the future in Tyler Shuck. Weirder things have happened. They're coming off a 34-26 win there over the Texans, and also let's keep in mind their last 2 wins were against the Texans and the Titans and the Jets, not the Texans, the Titans and the Jets. They beat the Buccaneers, Panthers, Jets, and Titans over that 4-game winning streak, so they've been playing well. Shuck's coming off a game where he passed for 333 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He was sacked twice. We liked what we saw in the running game in general as well, not from Shuck necessarily, but overall, a very solid day in the ground game there for the Saints, who have been without Kamara for quite some time now. Chris Olave did play in that game and played really, really well. We'll be looking at his injury news here in just a second. Maybe not going to be seeing him in this one. They did fumble it away once, so that 1 turnover is all they gave up. But overall, a great day offensively, putting up 34 points. Definitely nothing to hang your head about. Now, on defense, they gave up 26 points to the Titans. Let Cam Ward look very, very good. 2 touchdown passes for him. They did sack him 4 times, though, so that's nice. They slowed down but did not stop the running attack there of the Titans. So overall, not a terrible day. They forced 1 turnover. It was a fumble there by Cam Ward. So, not a terrible showing. They end up winning this game by 8. Playing on the road against the Titans is not a bad day there for the New Orleans Saints, to be honest. They have hurt their draft stock a lot with, winning all these games down the stretch. But if Shuck's really going to be their quarterback of the future, they probably don't mind that too much. Over the course of the season, this defense has not been terrible. They're tied for 16th in the NFL, giving up 22.8 points per game. Injury news for the Saints is not great. Obviously, we won't see Kamara in this game. We also won't see Chris Olave. Other than that, they are healthy and ready to go on offense, but missing Olave, they've been missing Kamara here for a bit. Missing Olave, definitely something to be at least slightly concerned about, although they have other at least relatively competent pass catchers out there. On defense, they will be missing their starting right defensive end. Also, Demario Davis is questionable there at linebacker. Do we have any updates? Yeah, he's officially questionable. We know that, but no real updates. It sounds like it's going to be a true game time decision here as the Saints go on the road to take on the Atlanta Falcons, who've also been looking okay down the stretch. They're 7-9 overall. They've won 3 straight games, taking down the Buccaneers, the Cardinals, and the Rams. That was a crazy, just shocking win there they had over the Rams. It's been the Kirk Cousins experience down the road here for the Falcons, and I'm shocked to say it, flabbergasted to say it, but he's looking like a borderline real NFL quarterback out there. Now, he only had 126 yards last week against the Rams, completed 13 of 20 passes. Seems like he's planting his foot well, moving well. Seems like he really is, basically fully recovered there from that Achilles, which is a big step in the right direction for him. Obviously, the running game is what won them that game against the Rams. Well, also Stafford throwing the ball to the other team, but Robinson ended up with 195 yards on 22 carries and a touchdown. Also ripped off that 93-yard run. Pretty crazy stuff there. So a big day there in the running game for the Falcons. We'll see if they can replicate that here against the Saints. It's not impossible in terms of their defense giving up 24 points to the Rams, picking off Stafford 3 times, sacking him 3 times. That looks amazing, but they couldn't stop the run in that game. In the second half, they really struggled. The Rams were almost able to come back. They outscored the Falcons 24-6 in the second half. If Stafford just wouldn't have been such a nightmare in the first half, the Rams would have probably won this game very comfortably. So the Falcons defense probably doesn't feel that great after what happened to them in the second half. And over the course of the season, they're 20th in the NFL, giving up 24 points per game. So not really a monster level defense. Injuries are a big problem here for the Falcons. We see Drake London. We see Darnell Mooney. He's also on the injury report. Kyle Pitts is on the injury report as well. So the offense not going to be at full strength. Drake London officially listed as questionable. They are optimistic that he'll play, but how good will he be if he is out there? I mean, the last time we saw him on the field, that was against the Rams. He only got targeted twice, caught one of those balls for 4 yards. So I do not think this is going to be the fully healthy Drake London out there. In terms of Darnell Mooney, he also is listed as questionable there with that knee issue, but is expected to suit up. Last week against the Rams, he got 2 out of 3 balls for 35 yards. He looked maybe a little bit better, but overall not necessarily a healthy looking group there in the wide receiver room for Atlanta. Kyle Pitts Sr. also sounds like he's going to play, even though he's dealing with that knee issue. He caught 2 out of 3 passes for 16 yards. Like, none of these guys are really fully ready to go for the Falcons. On defense, they could be missing 1 cornerback and 1 guy there on the defensive line, so kind of unlikely to be at full strength there. Despite all that injury news, the Falcons are 3.5-point favorites at home. We've got a total of 43.5. New Orleans is 5-3 against the spread on the road this year, 11-5 to the under. Atlanta's 3-4 against the spread at home, 8-7-1 to the over. Guys, I like the Saints here getting 3.5 points. I know Olave being out isn't great, but New Orleans, they've been very decent at stopping or at least slowing down Robinson. Their defense has done some very good stuff just in general. Now that we're getting over a field goal in this game, we have to back the Saints against a Falcons team that is very banged up. Even if these dudes end up playing, they're far from 100%. Next on the docket, we've got the Cleveland Browns going on the road to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. The Browns are 4-12 on the season. They are coming off that crazy 13-6 win there over the Steelers, but they'd lost 4 straight before that. Obviously, they've been out of playoff contention for quite some time. The Shedeur Sanders experience has gone maybe slightly better than I would have guessed, although last week, not great. 186 yards, cool, but picked off twice, threw 1 touchdown, was also sacked a couple times. Didn't do a crazy amount of work with his legs. I mean, 4 carries for 20 yards is fine, but definitely not anything amazing. It was the defense, for sure, that won them this game. Giving up only 6 points to the Steelers was amazing work, so I got to give them big props there. We'll see what they're able to do in this one. I mean, giving up 6 points is amazing. They slowed down but did not stop the running attack, and they're very clearly going up against a much more talented offense in this game. So we'll see what the Browns can bring to the table here over the course of the season. 14th in the NFL on defense, giving up 22.6 points per game. Their injury report looks okay. They will be missing their starting tight end, but other than that are healthy on offense. And on defense, could be missing Miles Harden there, but other than that, they are pretty healthy. A pretty healthy team coming into Week 18. They're going to be tested here, heading to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. Now, it's 6-10 on the season. Obviously, it's been a disappointing year for the Bengals, but they've been looking really good the last couple of weeks. They got healthy, and all of a sudden, things have started to look very good. They knocked off the Ravens, could have knocked off the Bills, had that weird depression game there from Joe Burrow where they got shut out against the Ravens, but then obliterated the Dolphins, and then last week got the 37-14 win there over the Arizona Cardinals. So very good work from Joe Burrow and company. He had 305 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was sacked 3 times, but did not turn the ball over. Chase Brown, 22 carries, 101 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Jamar Chase caught 7 out of 9 targets for 2 touchdowns and 60 yards. T. Higgins caught 4 out of 5 targets for 59 yards. Like, this is a finely oiled machine here on offense. The offensive line has looked so much better here over the course of the season than we expected from what they were looking like, or projected to look like heading into the year. So a lot of stuff pointed in the right direction. And the defense had a pretty good day last week as well, giving up only 14 points. They stopped the run. They gave up a little bit to Jacoby Brissett, but also sacked him 4 times. Just a very good day out there for Cincinnati on defense. They are are a terrible defensive team, 31st in the nation, giving up 29.5 points per game, but we'll see. We'll see if they can look better again this week, going up against a pretty mediocre offense. The injury report here for the Bengals looks very, very good, fully healthy and ready to go on offense. That's a big deal. That's a big, big advantage here in Week 18. On defense, could be missing their starting left defensive end. Other than that, they're relatively healthy, which looks pretty nice. They're 7.5-point favorites at home. We've got a total of 44.5 in this game. Cleveland, they're 1-6 against the spread playing on the road this season. They're a 500 over-under team. Cleveland, they're a 500 against the spread team at home despite all the injuries and stuff, and they're a slight over team. Guys, I love the Bengals here at -7.5. Even in the win over the Steelers last week, Sanders was not good. I don't expect miracles from him in this one. The Browns' defense has not been nearly as reliable this season in general. Cincinnati is one of the best offenses in the NFL when Burrow and company are all healthy and ready to go, and they are healthy and ready to go for this game, so we are slamming here on the Bengals at -7.5. This could be our lock of the day. We might end up taking them on the money line also. Any way that you're taking the Bengals to win this game makes tons of sense to me. Before we hop in and break down the Green Bay Packers going on the road to take on the Minnesota Vikings, we got to shout out the sponsor today and every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Guys, our premium members are getting a pretty great deal right now. We're getting daily NBA, NHL, UFC, NFL, college football, and college basketball picks. All those sports going on right now gives you maximum bang for your buck as a premium member over there at StumpTheSpread.com. College football has been on a very, very hot run here recently. It's looked very good throughout bowl season. College basketball had a 5-1 day there on Friday. Gave a little bit back here, going 2-3 on Saturday here, but overall it's been very, very good. And the biggest news is we cashed a massive 10-unit play there on the Carolina Panthers +3, and you can expect more massive plays like that on Sunday. So definitely want to make sure you become a premium member over here at StumpTheSpread.com, because these picks that you see from me here in the emails, these are not the premium top confidence picks. This is just what is coming from me. I'm not the premium NFL handicapper over there at Stump the Spread. We have a monster with many, many more years of experience covering NFL than I have. We have a team of experts covering all the major sports, so definitely want to make sure you're diving in and becoming a premium member over there at StumpTheSpread.com. You cash one 10-unit play like that, you can easily pay for your month or week or whatever increment of membership that you purchase over there at StumpTheSpread.com in one freaking play. So definitely make sure you're getting in on the premium stuff over there. But also, we've got lots of free stuff at StumpTheSpread.com too. We've got free picks every single day under the free picks tab. Definitely make sure you're checking that out. Also, get over to StumpTheSpread.com and get on that free email list. You definitely want to be on it for NFL Sunday, guys, because we send out tons and tons of NFL touchdown props and other player props. Already cashed Tommy Tremble at +550 to score a touchdown there in the Carolina game. I would have never thought that dude was going to get very much action. Well, our premium NFL handicapper saw it, sent it out on the email, and everybody cashed in on a 5.5-1 play. So definitely make sure you're getting on that email list. It's very easy. You just go to StumpTheSpread.com and set up a free account. All they're going to ask you for is your name and your email address, and you'll be on that email list. And you'll get an email from us every single day loaded with free picks and just tons of other great sports betting information. Make sure you're not missing out on that. Don't miss out on those premium picks either. And also, if you're looking to buy a Stump the Spread hoodie, we've got those for sale over on the website as well. And if you have design ideas for hoodies, send them to support@stumpthespread.com, and we'll be more than happy to take a look at those if you think our hoodie design needs a little bit of an upgrade. Also, if you're a huge fan of what you're seeing from us here every single day, click that little join button right below the video to sign up for a YouTube channel membership. YouTube channel members get early access to all of our videos, get their name up on screen in every single video, but maybe most importantly, they get access to our members only giveaways. We give away a Stump the Spread hoodie here every single Monday, absolutely for free, to one random YouTube channel member. We put the name of every channel member on one big wheel. We spin it live on the Monday video. Whoever it lands on gets a Stump the Spread hoodie of their size and choice mailed straight to their address. So definitely make sure you get in on that if you're interested. Big shout out to all of my YouTube channel members. Really appreciate you guys. Now let's go ahead and dive back in and break down the Green Bay Packers as they go on the road here to take on the Minnesota Vikings. The Packers come into this game having already clinched a wild card. They're not going to be playing all their guys here, going to be the skeleton crew for the Green Bay Packers here as they go on the road to take on the Vikings, who have already been eliminated from playoff contention. Now, the Packers, 9-6-1, haven't exactly had a great time down the stretch, losing to the Bears, Broncos, and then the Bears again. They beat the Bears the first time. They lost to the Broncos, Bears, and Ravens down the stretch is what I meant. So, yeah, it's been a little bit of a mixed bag. Jordan Love could definitely use use the week off here. In that game against the Ravens, they got absolutely manhandled, losing 41-24 there to a backup quarterback. I mean, we were on the Ravens and the points in that game, so we weren't too disappointed. It kind of turned out the way we expected it to, but the Packers could not stop the run at all in that game. Something of slight concern here against the Vikings. Also against a backup quarterback, they struggled, which makes me think they could struggle even more here against technically a starting level quarterback for the Vikings. We'll see how that goes. The Packers in general come into this game healthy, but resting lots of guys. Clayton Tune is going to be the starting quarterback for this game. We'll see if guys like Josh Jacobs get much action, Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs. I really expect even the offensive line, not going to see a ton of action. They're not going to be looking to risk guys to injury in a game that really is meaningless to them overall. So we'll see what they can do here on the road against an NFC North opponent in the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings, they've been playing great down the stretch, winning 4 in a row, taking down the Commanders, Cowboys, Giants, and Lions. Really playing spoiler there to the Lions. J.J. McCarthy, been a bit of a mixed bag this year. I've been more than happy to fade him at some different points. It was actually Max Brosmer under center there in that 23-10 win over Detroit last week, but we are reportedly not going to be seeing Brosmer in this one. We're going to be seeing J.J. McCarthy. We liked what we saw in terms of the running game. Aaron Jones looked pretty good. Jordan Addison snapping off that 65-yard carry was cool as well. Justin Jefferson's got to feel like he's trapped in hell at this point, just hasn't been able to be very productive because has really no one to throw in the ball very well this season, but the defense looked amazing, giving up only 10 points to the Lions, really slowing down the running game. Detroit gave up only 68 yards on 30 carries. That's elite. Picking off Goff twice, sacking him 5 times, and now they get to go up against less than starting level offensive line and a third string quarterback. I think we were about to see the Minnesota Vikings absolutely bring the heat in this game. I think it's going to be pretty nuts. Over the course of the season, they're 10th in the NFL, giving up 20.6 points per game. So that's all looking very respectable. Aaron Jones Sr. will not play in this game, but Jordan Mason and Ty Chandler are more than capable of stepping in and being good running the ball. Missing TJ Hawkinson, maybe that's not ideal, but the offensive line is healthy and ready to go. And most importantly, that defense is healthy, rested, and ready to go, looking to make some noise in this one. And that's a big part of the reason the Vikings are up to 10-point favorites in this game. We've got a total of 37. The Packers are 2-6 against the spread on the road this year. They are 9-7 to the over. Minnesota's 3-4 against the spread at home. They're a 500 over-under team. Guys, I like the Vikings here at -10 quite a bit. The Packers are going to be starting Clayton Tune, like I said, not an NFL-level quarterback. They're going to be resting a lot of guys as well. The Vikings, they've got a chance at home to get a big win and cover over a divisional opponent and to get it in blowout fashion. We have to at least be considering them this week going into the pinned comment because the Packers, they're going to be packing it in here in the last week of the regular season. So definitely give me a good hard look at the Vikings here at -10. Rolling right along, we got 2 more eliminated teams. We're looking at the Dallas Cowboys going on the road to take on the New York Giants. Now, this NFC East showdown should be pretty interesting. Dallas, they beat Washington last week 30-23. That snapped a 3-game losing streak, losing to the Lions, Vikings, and Chargers. This Dallas team has really been a story of 2 different sides of the ball. The offense is great. The defense is atrocious. Lots of guys still playing for contracts and stuff like that, especially George Pickens, for instance. Dak's played great, especially in spots like this over the course of his career. He's coming off a big 300-yard, 2-touchdown game against Washington. He was also sacked 6 times, so I'm sure he would like that to happen a little bit less in this one. And against a Giants defense that's not great, I think that's a reasonable hope for him. We liked what we saw from Malik Davis running the ball last week. Javonte Williams also put up good numbers. Turpin had a big day catching that 186-yard bomb. Pickens and CeeDee Lamb were also very productive. And the defense gave up only 23 points, albeit against a backup level quarterback. But maybe they're going up against a backup level quarterback in this one too. Definitely a possibility. They're fully healthy on offense. It's a big deal. On defense, they are already missing 2 starters, so not looking for the defense to necessarily have a banner day, but that offense should be in for a good one here as they head to New York to take on the Giants, who are only 3-13 on the season. This team is heavily incentivized to be losing games, and unfortunately for their franchise, maybe fortunately for their players, depending on how you want to look at it, they got the 34-10 win at Las Vegas last week. And Jackson Dart was very good in that game, albeit against a tanking opponent. 22 of 30, 207 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Tracy Jr., 14 carries for 62 yards. As a team, they ended up with 155 rushing yards. Jackson Dart ran for 2 touchdowns himself. Bro, you're going to have to learn how to, not get drilled all the time, but we'll see if that, maybe wisdom will come with age. In that game, they picked off Geno Smith twice. That's not exactly a huge, a really hard thing to do, but they gave up a lot in the running game. Gave up only 10 points, though. So a good day there for their defense, which over the course of the year has been bad. 26th in the NFL, giving up 26.4 points per game. The injury report here for the Giants looks okay. Theo Johnson will be out, so they won't have their starting tight end. Their offensive line is extremely banged up over the course of the season. It's not a good offensive line. On defense, Holland is going to be out there at free safety, and missing anybody in your secondary in this specific matchup is definitely a problem. So that's part of why the Giants are getting 3.5 points in this game. We've got a total of 49.5. Dallas is 3-5 against spread on the road. They are 11-4-1 to the over. That's actually an NFL best to the over. The Giants, they're 3-4 against the spread at home. They are 10-6 to the over. So right off the bat here, I don't blame anyone for taking over 49.5. It's a big number, but I think we're going to see lots of offense in this game. In terms of the side, though, I'll take Dallas at -3.5. I know it's a public side for sure, but still feels like a good spot. I don't trust anything I'm seeing for the Giants, as I don't think there's anything big cooking for them just because they beat the Raiders. Dak, and company historically have a very good time against terrible teams like this, and while their defense is bad, the offense is just so good. The Giants' secondary is also terrible and banged up. I think we see an absolute field day from Dak Prescott and company as they win this game by at least a touchdown. Rolling right along, we're looking at the Jacksonville Jaguars the Tennessee Titans going on the road to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Titans are 3-13 on the season, so not exactly having the year of their lives. They're coming off a competitive 34-26 loss against the Saints, so maybe they can feel good about that. I do think they've probably found their quarterback of the future in Cam Ward. He looked good in that game, 2 touchdown passes, no interceptions. Only sacked 4 times, so that's a nice step in the right direction. Tony Pollard had a good time in the running game as well. Okonkwo, he was okay there in the right receiving game. But overall, nothing too amazing to report here for the Titans. It's just not been a very good year. It wasn't expected to be a great year necessarily. They have seen some growth from Cam Ward, so that's nice. But the defense has been atrocious. They got destroyed by Tyler Shuck and the Saints running game last week, giving up 34 points. Not a good time, even for a defense that's 28th in the NFL. They gave up 27.3 points per game. It's been brutal. The injury report looks okay, though. They're fully healthy on offense. On defense, that is not really the case. Going to be missing 2 starters. Probably missing their safety there in Hooker, and could also be will be missing K there at linebacker. So they won't be at full strength defensively as they head to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars, who at 12-4 on the season are having a great time. They're coming off that 23-17 win over the Colts. They also beat the Broncos recently. They've been playing great. Trevor Lawrence has had a big season in that win over the Colts. Let's keep in mind it was the Colts, so let's not freak out too much. Indianapolis not in great shape at this point, but Trevor Lawrence still finds a way to get a pass thrown to the other team. Completed 23-37, so not exactly a banner day from him, but the running game looked great. Parker Washington had a monster day, 8 catches on 10 targets for 115 yards. They only came up with 23 points in the game, but the defense was excellent. Only gave up 17, came up with 2 interceptions in the game, slowed down Jonathan Taylor extensively. A very, very good day there for the Jaguars defense, and the defense has been good this year for them in general. Currently 9th in the NFL, giving up 20.6 points per game. You can't complain about that too much. They come into this game pretty healthy, and they will be playing everything because there is a scenario where winning this game will help them. So we'll see if that actually plays out that way. But they are going to be missing their starting right guard, but they are fully healthy on defense. They're basically ready to go here. The Jaguars are 13.5 point favorites at home. We've got a total of 47.5. Tennessee, they are 3-1 against the spread on the road. They are 10-6 to the over. The Jaguars are 6-1 against the spread at home. They are 9-7 to the over. Guys, I'm going to lean just slightly. This is a game I don't want to get very involved, but I will lean slightly towards the Titans getting 13.5. You could wait around. This might make it to 14. This number is just too big with both teams playing everyone. It's an AFC South showdown. The Titans got blown out in game 1 between these two teams, so maybe they'll have some pride here and give Jacksonville a real game. But this is not one that's going to meet anywhere near the pinned comment. I'm not getting very involved. Rolling right along, we got the Indianapolis Colts heading to Houston to take on the Texans. The Colts are 8-8 on the season. They're coming off another loss. It's just been a brutal just collapse from the Colts. Injuries, all kinds of bad luck, you name it, it's happened to them. They've lost 6 straight games. They're coming off that 23-17 loss there against the Jaguars. The Phillip Rivers experiment is apparently over. We're going to be seeing a full game there of Riley Leonard, and he did not look good last week against Jacksonville, albeit in insanely limited action. So we'll see. I guess was that just that Hail Mary? Anyway, it doesn't even matter. It's Riley Leonard under center. Jonathan Taylor, I guess. But yeah, it's been brutal. The Colts don't have anything left to play for. They've been eliminated from playoff contention. Defensively last week, they did show some pride. Looked pretty good there at times, but it's just, I mean, you got to feel for any Colts fan. You got a Colts fan in your life, you should text them and check on them because they have to be feeling really depressed. Overall, this team is pretty healthy on offense. I mean, how much does that matter at this point? We'll see. But they are ready to go. Technically, on defense, Sauce Gardner is out. That was a move that was supposed to help them really a bunch in this season. It just really hasn't panned out at all. So it's the healthy Colts going on the road to take on the Houston Texans, who at 11-5 will be playing in the playoffs this year. There is a reality where winning this game and a bunch of other stuff going on could help them. We'll see. They've had a great year. They're coming off a 20-16 win there at the Chargers. That was a big time win for them. The defense has been amazing. Giving up only 16 points last week looks great. CJ Stroud has 100% taken a step back this year. There's really no debating it anymore. He just has not looked the same, and there really hasn't been a lot of great reasons. The offensive line is fine. The wide receiver group is very similar. He just hasn't been very good. So we'll see what he looks like in this one. Getting picked off twice, that's not something he should be looking to replicate. Woody Marks had a big day in the running game, so that helps. And Higgins and Nico Collins both look good in the receiving game last week against the Chargers. So things to feel positive about there for sure. Defensively, they gave up only 16 points against a very solid team. Shut down Herbert, picking him off once, shut down the running game. It was just another dominant performance from a Texans defense that's been pretty solidly basically the best defense in the NFL this year, giving up 16.6 points per game. Obviously, that is first in the NFL. The injury report here for Houston looks very, very good. Offensively, they're going to be fully healthy. Defensively, they will be missing their starting cornerback, but could there be a better situation to be banged up in the secondary than this game? So looking at the numbers, the Texans are 10.5-point favorites at home. We've got a total of 39. The Colts are 3-3-1 against spread on the road. They are 8-8 to the over-under. Houston's 5-3 against spread at home. They are 10-5-1 to the under. Guys, I'll take Houston here minus 10.5 as a very small lean. The Texans will be playing all their starters, but I do worry about their offense being able to put up enough points to cover this number. I'll fade Riley Leonard in this spot as I expect the Colts to fold here at the end of the season after an epic collapse, but this is not a game where I'm showing a ton of value, so I'm not going to be getting too involved. Next on the docket, we're looking at the New York Jets heading to Buffalo to take on the Bills. The Jets are 3-13 on the season. They have really closed up shop late here, losing 4 straight games, losses to the Dolphins, Jaguars, Saints, and Patriots. They lost 42-10 against the Patriots their last time out, and guys, I am not very impressed with the Brady Cook experience. He completed 19 out of 33 passes for 152 yards in an interception last week. Breece Hall did have a monster day running the ball. Got to give him credit for still putting in the work here late in the season, but the defense is just so embarrassingly bad. They got shredded by the Patriots, and I don't really see a whole lot changing in this one. The Jets are a team that's very heavily incentivized to be losing games to protect their draft position here at the end of the year. So yeah, not expecting anything good from the Jets on either side of the ball, and they come into this game. Breece Hall will be sitting out. They're not risking that again, not risking him keeping them in this game. They're missing tons and tons of guys for the season. They're missing multiple starters there on defense as well. They've traded away players to make themselves worse. This team is tanking. So we'll see what they do here on the road against the Bills, who at 11-5 on the season had to be pretty happy the way things have gone. Probably not happy with that 1-point loss against the Eagles last week. That did not have to go that way, but they're going to be in the playoffs. They're going to be fine. Josh Allen is apparently fine from that foot thing. He is going to start this game. We'll see if he stays in for the full game, but he is going to be out there at least to start it. The Bills' offense has been very solid this year. Obviously not solid the last week so much, but in general, they've been very, very good. We liked what we saw from Josh Allen throwing the ball last week, at least 262 yards. Very good work. He was sacked 5 times. James Cook had a decent time there in the running game, and Braden Cooks had a good day, catching 4 out of 6 targets for 100 yards. All that's going to get an awful lot easier here playing against a team as bad as the Jets. Now, the Bills are relatively healthy coming into this game on offense. On defense, it's a different story. But even if your defense is terrible against a team as bad as the Jets, I mean, are they even going to be able to score? So despite missing probably 3 to 4 starters at least on defense, I'm not too worried about that situation for the Bills. They're 7.5-point favorites in this game. We've got a total of 37.5. The Jets are 3-3-1 against spread on the road. They're 10-6 to the over. The Bills are 3-5 against spread at home. They're a 500 over-under team. Guys, I love the Bills here at minus 7.5. Josh Allen playing, if he plays a full series, we love that. If he plays the full game, that would be amazing. Who knows? But whenever he does, or if he does come out of this game, Mitch Trubisky is a very capable backup option. The Jets have been great at losing here down the stretch, and I think they'll be even better at losing in this game. I think we're definitely wanting to slam it here on the Bills. They're going to want to cap their season off with a win, even if it doesn't mean much. I think they win this game by double digits. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Detroit Lions going on the road to taking the Chicago Bears. The Lions have been eliminated from playoff contention. The Bears, they have not. They will be in the playoffs, and they're looking really, really good. Got a lot to play for in this game. Detroit, they can try and play spoiler at 8-8 on the season, and with Dan Campbell at the helm, I do think they will be trying to do that pretty hard. They've lost 3 straight games, including that 23-10 loss at the Vikings last week. When they played the Bears earlier this season, they did get a blowout win, but these two teams are looking an awful lot different at this point. Last week against the Vikings, it was terrible. The Lions couldn't run the ball at all. Goff kept throwing the ball to the other team. He was also sacked 5 times. They only ended up with 10 points in the whole game. It was brutal. The defense, while they stopped Max Brosmer, could not stop the running game. And yeah, it was just a terrible, terrible day out there for the Lions. And they are dealing with a lot of injuries. They've dealt with a lot of injuries all season long. We see Amon-Ra St. Brown questionable for this game, dealing with a knee and ankle complaint. I don't know why he would play in a meaningless game. The offensive line is very banged up, going to be missing at least one more starter, but they've had tons of injuries all year long. And the defense, it's even worse. They're going to be missing at least 3 starters from the defensive side of the ball, and they're missing tons of guys for the season. So it's been pretty much a disaster year for the Lions. Just so many injuries. We'll see what they can do on the road against the Chicago Bears. The Bears, they're coming off that 42-38 loss to the 49ers. A game they definitely had their chances in. Caleb Williams looked good. 330 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, sacked 0 times, picked off 0 times. DeAndre Swift maybe should have got more work, had 54 yards on 9 carries. Caleb Williams didn't do that much with his legs, but overall, not a bad day for the offense. The defense got shredded. They couldn't figure out Brock Purdy. They definitely could not figure out Christian McCaffrey. But the good news from them is this Lions offense, or whatever is left of it, is nothing compared to what, is not good. Not good compared to what they faced from the 49ers last week. The Bears defense in general this season, 22nd in the NFL, giving up almost 25 points per game. That's not great. The injury report, we do see Rome Odunze. Sounds like there's a chance he could play in this one. He did practice on Friday. He's officially listed as questionable, but sounds like he will likely be back. They're going to be close to, if not fully healthy there on the offensive line. And on defense, they're looking very healthy and ready to go. They'll be 100% if Brisker can go. He's dealing with an illness. I'd be pretty shocked to see him not play in this game. So, looking at the numbers, the Bears are -3 here playing at home. We've got a total of 50.5. Detroit is 3-5 against spread on the road. They're 10-6 to the over. The Bears are 5-2 against the spread at home this season. They're 8-7-1 to the over. I love the Bears here at -3. The Lions are eliminated from the playoffs. They're going to be missing a ton of guys on both sides of the ball. With nothing to play for, I just don't see them doing a good job here on offense or defense. Most importantly, though, I think they'll struggle against the run. The Lions can't run the ball right now at all themselves. They are not going to have a fun time relying on Goff here, playing outdoors in 31 degrees. Not a situation where he tends to have a very good time. Definitely give me the Bears here at -3. This one also has potential to be our lock of the day. In a matchup of 2 teams that are going to be making it to the playoffs this year, we've got the Los Angeles Chargers going on the road to take on the Denver Broncos. The Chargers are 11-5. They're a team without much incentive to try too much this week, and that's why they're not going to be running Justin Herbert out there. It's going to be Trey Lance under center for this game, and some other guys that we might not expect to get tons of play, tons of snaps. Will get some snaps, but they are playing their starting offensive line because those dudes need work. Last week, we didn't like what we saw from the Chargers running game, but that was against the Houston Texans, the best defense in the NFL. The Broncos are way up there in terms of being the best defense in the NFL as well, but this is a divisional opponent. Got to keep that in mind. The last time the Chargers and Broncos played each other, the Chargers in week 3 got the 23-20 win. So we'll see what comes out of this one. Obviously, Trey Lance being under center is a downgrade, but how big of a downgrade is it? We'll have to wait and see. No Amari Hampton for this one, but there are other guys on this team that can run the ball for the Chargers, and on defense are looking very, very healthy and ready to go for this game. Sounds like they're going to be playing a decent amount of their starters there on defense as well as they go on the road here to take on the Denver Broncos. Now, Denver's 13-3 on the season. They're gonna be trying to win this game at least somewhat here, or no, they're going to be definitely trying to win this game. They're coming off a 20-13 win there over the Chiefs. A game that was much closer than you would have thought it would be, a tanking Chiefs team. Why would Denver let this be a one-score game? Well, Bo Nix wasn't very good. 182 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and 1 sack. He did run the ball 9 times for 42 yards and a touchdown, but it's one of those Bo Nix games where he just doesn't look great throwing the ball. RJ Harvey was okay in the running game. Nobody went particularly nuts there on offense. The defense continues to be great, but this is against the skeleton crew there for the Chiefs. Not exactly the toughest test. They gave up 13 points. Over the course of the year, they've given up only 19.3 points per game, so that all looks great. The Broncos do come into this game pretty healthy on offense. On defense, they're going to be missing at least Greenlaw, if not Franklin Myers as well. So they won't be at full strength for this one. And despite that, they're still 13.5-point favorites at home. We've got a total of 37.5 in this game. The Chargers, they're 3-4 against the spread on the road. They're 9-6-1 to the under. Denver's 4-4 against spread at home. They're 9-7 to the under. You could maybe talk me into under 37.5 in this game. I don't think we're going to see a crazy amount of offense, but just like that, guys, I think we should take the Chargers, getting 13.5. We could wait around. Maybe this will get up to 14. I do like the Chargers and Trey Lance enough here to make this a good game, though. Denver has not been good as a favorite. Bo Nix, 2-9 against spread as a favorite, and even against a team like the Chargers, they're going to have a hard time getting a blowout. The Chargers are going to play most of their starters on the offensive line, which also should help out Trey Lance quite a bit. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Kansas City Chiefs heading to Vegas to take on the Raiders. The Chiefs are 6-10 coming into the season. Obviously, they've been tanking it out here at the end of the road. They've lost 5 in a row. They're coming off that 20-13 loss against the Broncos. Not loving what I'm seeing from them in terms of quarterback play. The running game isn't looking great. Travis Kelce trying to finish off maybe his career with some dignity. We'll see if he comes back or not, but it wasn't a good day out there on offense. On defense, though, they showed a lot of pride, gave up only 20 points to the Denver Broncos, who were trying to win that game. It looked very, very good, and now they're going to be taking on an opponent that is not trying to win games. So we'll see. We'll see what the Chiefs look like, see how much they, how much, I don't know if dignity is the right word, they show at the end of the year here. They're going to be banged up. Obviously not going to be playing everyone. Why would they be doing that at this point? But we'll see who's available out there. I do think we'll see a good amount of Kareem Hunt work. If Xavier Worthy's not ready to go, it'll be Hollywood Brown and Juju Smith-Schuster and Travis Kelce out there running routes. So I think the offense could be okay-ish, especially, okay-ish given, a bad starting quarterback. And then on defense, they're very, very healthy coming into this game. The Raiders, on the other hand, are doing a great job of losing games here at the end of the year. They're 2-14 on the season. They haven't won a game in quite some time. They're coming off a 34-10 blowout loss at the hands of the Giants. Yikes. We'll see what it looks like in this one, but it feels very clear that Pete Carroll's gotten the call. Kenny Pickett's going to be starting. We are trying to lose these games. Genty's looked good at the end of the year, fine, but the defense has looked like a dumpster fire. They gave up 34 points against the Giants, couldn't stop the pass, couldn't stop the run, or wouldn't. Generated 0 turnovers and only 2 sacks. It's just been brutal for the Raiders here at the end of the season. They're sending their best players home, or getting them to not play. We've got it's been rough. No Brock Bowers, no Max Crosby. Lots of guys missing on offense, some guys missing on defense. It's just kind of a disaster here for the Raiders at the end of the year. They're getting 5.5 points at home in this one. We've got a total of 36.5. The Chiefs are only 1-5 against spread on the road. They're 12-4 to the under this season. The Raiders are 3-5 against spread at home. They're a 500 over-under team. Guys, I don't want to get too involved in this game necessarily, but I do think there's value to be had on the Chiefs here at -5.5. Both teams might kind of be trying to lose this game, but I think the Chiefs' defense is just too good. Andy Reid's already announced he's going to be back next season. I think that's good news for this spot. I'm not going to get crazy involved in this game, but I do think there is reason to back the Chiefs here in this spot. The Raiders, they're just too good at losing. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Arizona Cardinals heading to Los Angeles to take on the Rams. The Cardinals come in this game 3-13 on the season. One of those teams that's incentivized to lose. They got blown out by the Bengals last week, and it just hasn't looked good. Moving on from Kyler Murray might be a good thing in the long term, but hasn't looked great this season. Jacoby Brissett's been usable, I guess, but last week they just got manhandled by the Bengals. Brissett had 212 yards and 2 touchdowns. Great. None of that is going to really translate into you winning when your defense is this bad. They gave up 37 points. This team has been dealing with tons of injuries down the stretch, and the defense has just been atrocious. Couldn't stop the pass, couldn't stop the run, couldn't stop anybody last week there on the Bengals. So I'm not really looking for miracles here coming out of the Cardinals. It has been absolutely rough, and they come in this game pretty banged up. They've moved lots of guys to the IR there on offense. Brissett under center, cool. Michael Carter, Michael Wilson, Xavier Weaver, Jalen Brooks, and Trey McBride. That is not a highly skilled, skill player department there. They're going to be missing at least one starting offensive lineman, so that doesn't help. On defense, they're going to be missing Josh Sweat probably there at defensive end, and just in general missing lots of guys for the season. And this Cardinals defense has been terrible. 29th in the NFL, giving up 28.2 points per game. Not a lot of good stuff for me to say about the Cardinals. Also, not a lot of good stuff for me to say about what the Rams did to us last week in a standalone game, guys. That was brutal. They ended up taking the 27-24 loss there to the Falcons. Embarrassing stuff. Stafford probably cost himself the MVP with that atrocious performance, getting picked off 3 times. He did throw 2 touchdown passes, and the Rams got their act together there in the second half, but it was a little bit too little, a little bit too late. Kyren Williams was a monster in that game. Puka Nacua did everything he could possibly do, trying to spin gold out of Matthew Stafford's shit, but it did not work. It was a rough game out there for the Rams, leading them to be in a huge bounce back spot in this one. The defense could not stop Robinson there in the running game. Other than that, they did a good job, but you got to be able to stop the run at least somewhat. But that's not as big of a concern here going up against a team like the Arizona Cardinals, who've been pretty atrocious. That being said, the Rams defense has been great this season. Top 10 easily, 8th in the NFL, giving up 20.4 points per game. They come into this one looking relatively healthy. It sounds like everybody that's actually healthy is going to be going for this game. So we see Kyren Williams and Blake Corum both questionable, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them kind of keep the running backs touches a little bit lower in this game, but I do think both will probably end up playing. Devontae Adams is truly questionable for this game. We'll see if he's actually out there, but sounds like there's a chance he'll be back. Puka Nacua, no injury designation. He should be out there. The offensive line, a couple guys dinged up, but I think they're going to be healthy enough, to go up against a team as bad as the Cardinals. And on defense, they are fully healthy and have to be determined to put in a good effort. The Rams, they're only 9.5 point favorites in this game. We've got a total of 46.5. Arizona's 5-3 against the spread on the road, 9-7 to the over. The Rams are 5-2 against the spread at home. They are 9-7 to the over themselves. Guys, I like the Rams here at -9.5 quite a bit. The starters, as already been announced, are for sure playing here. They laid that egg against the Falcons last week. Gotta take care of business in this one and show that they're, back on track. Arizona's finished with this season, got destroyed with the Bengals last week. They're just not good. It's a huge bounce back spot here for the Rams, whether they're playing for anything or not. Definitely give me the Rams here to win this game by double digits. Rolling right along, guys, we're looking at the Miami Dolphins heading to New England to take on the Patriots. The Dolphins are 7-9 on the season. They're coming off a 20-17 win there over the Buccaneers, but none of this is going to be enough to get this team into the playoffs. It looks like they made a huge mistake by holding on to the idea of starting Tua for so long, but Quinn Ewers came in and looked very good. Terrible in his first game, very good in his second game. 2 touchdown passes, no interceptions, 172 yards. He was sacked twice, but overall, a very good day from him. A-Chain looked good. Jalen Wright looked good. But let's keep in mind this was all against the Buccaneers. Not exactly a top-tier opponent. They barely squeaked by Carolina to get the job done here on a Saturday. So we'll see. We'll see what the Dolphins can do in this one. Obviously, their defense hasn't been great over the course of the season. 21st in the NFL. They're dealing with tons of injuries coming this game. No A-Chain, almost for sure. Jalen Waddle probably going to sit out. Going to be missing 2 starters there on the offensive line, at least 1. So potentially 2. And on defense, it's even worse. Could be missing up to 4 starters in this game. Going to be missing at least 1. And missing your starting safety when you're going up against a team like the Patriots is pretty freaking bad news. So we'll see what they can do here on the road against New England. The Patriots have been amazing this year. 13-3 overall. They're coming off a 42-10 blowout when they're over the Jets. They are cruising. Drake May getting MVP hype. Everything is pointing in the right direction for the Patriots right now. May's coming off a huge 5-touchdown day there against the Jets. He looked unstoppable. Travion Henderson looked amazing. 19 carries for 82 yards. Ramondre Stevenson looked good. 8 carries for 47 yards and a touchdown. Stephon Diggs looked great. 6 catches on 6 targets for 101 yards. We'll see if any of the off-the-field stuff is bothering him on the field in this one, but I'm expecting very, very good stuff for the Patriots on offense. And on defense, they completely shut down the Jets last week. I think the Dolphins are going to be in kind of a similar situation in this one. They're not going to be fully healthy. They're going to be, not resting guys, but they're just going to have people missing. And if A-Chain's out, all of a sudden this Miami team is missing their best weapon. The injury report here for the Patriots looks very, very good. Jared Wilson will be out at left guard, but other than that, the offense is fully healthy. On defense, they will be missing 3 starters there, mostly up front, so that's not helpful, but I don't think it's going to be the end of the world, especially if A-Chain is going to be sidelined for this game like it's looking. Now, looking at the numbers here, the Patriots, they are 11.5 point favorites at home. We've got a total of 45.5. Miami's 3-4 against the spread on the road, 8-6-2 to the over. New England, 3-4-1 against the spread at home, 10-6 to the over. I'm not going to get involved in the over, even though I think the Patriots might score more than 45.5 points all on their own. I will take the Patriots here -11.5. I'll fade Quinn Ewers and the Dolphins here playing outside in 29 degrees. New England has a chance to get the 1 seed. Drake May is playing to potentially win the MVP. I think we see New England dominate in a game where the elements favor them in a massive way against a team that is not used to this kind of temperature. Rounding into the home stretch here, guys, we've got the Washington Commanders heading to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. The Commanders are 4-12 on the season. They're one of those teams that's incentivized to lose here at the end of the year. They're coming off that 30-23 loss to the Cowboys, and we're not even going to be seeing, like, this isn't Mariota under center anymore, obviously. This is Josh Johnson under center for the Commanders. And he was actually fine last week against one of the worst defenses in the NFL. That's great. Krosky Merritt looked good, 11 carries, 105 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's all great. Well, they're going to be going on the road in this one to face the Eagles. So we'll see if they can put up anything similar in this one. Defensively, they got shredded by the Cowboys last week, and that is not a major shock if we're being completely honest. It just did not, the defense has not been good for the Commanders this season overall. They're 27th in the NFL, giving up over 27 points per game. That has been brutal. They're going to have Josh Johnson under center once again, going to be missing at least one starter on the offensive line. The defense is fully healthy, but they're also fully terrible. And they're going on the road to take on the Eagles, who are 11-5 on the season. They come into this game fresh off that 13-12 win there over the Bills. The Eagles need to win this game, but might be resting guys if the Bears look like they're going to win. We'll see if that happens here. Obviously, a huge win for them over the Bills last week. Jalen Hurts looked very solid. 110 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, sacked once. Saquon, 19 carries for 68 yards. He's really turned into the guy carrying this team down the stretch, and that's what you need to be doing if you're the Eagles. On defense, they looked amazing, holding the Bills to only 12 points. Very, very dominant stuff. Slowing down the run, slowing down Josh Allen, and doing everything they needed to do. They did struggle against Brandon Cooks, but they did come up with a turnover and sack Josh Allen 5 times. I think we could see them get way more than 5 sacks in this game, I'll tell you what. So we'll see what they can do in this one. The injury report for the Eagles looks fairly encouraging here, except for on defense. The defensive side is a bit of a concern. The defensive line is banged up. We're missing one guy in the secondary as well, so not going to be at full strength, but they are only 4-point favorites here at home. We've got a total of 39. Washington's 2-5 against spread on the road this year. They are 9-6-1 to the over. The Eagles are 4-3 against spread at home. They are 10-6 to the under. I will take the Eagles here at -4. The Eagles need to win this game. They might be resting guys, though. If the Bears look like they're going to win, that would make that, kind of meaningless. I think Philadelphia, since Josh Johnson's going to be in there, I like the Eagles' second stringers enough to maintain this one, but their defense is so banged up, it makes me a little bit nervous. That's what could potentially make this miss the pinned comment. Last but not least, guys, we're looking at the Sunday Night Football matchup between the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Both teams are going to be absolutely desperate in this game. The Ravens come into this one fresh off a 41-24 beat down there at Green Bay. They played great. We were on the Ravens in that game, so we love to see it. Tyler Huntley was excellent, but it is starting to look more and more like we're going to see Lamar Jackson in this game. We'll have to wait and see. We'll break down the injury report here in just a second, but Derrick Henry was the reason they won in that game. 36 carries, 216 yards, 4 rushing touchdowns. Absolutely dominant stuff there. Putting up 41 points. Great. The defense also looked okay. Not amazing. Gave up 24 points to a backup quarterback. Almost 300 passing yards they gave up to Malik Willis. So not ideal. They also gave a good amount to the run, albeit to a running quarterback. So that's not going to be the case here. Couldn't be less of a running quarterback. So we'll see. We'll see what they're able to come up with in this game. The Ravens defense over the course of the season, 18th in the NFL, giving up over 23 points per game. They have not been amazing. Lamar Jackson is confirmed going to be starting this game. I honestly think that helps the Steelers more than it helps the Ravens because he doesn't look the same this year. They're also going to be missing Rashad Bateman, but the offensive line is fully healthy, and the defense is basically fully healthy for this game. They're heading to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers, who are 9-7 on the season. They're coming off a loss to the Browns. That one cannot have felt very good. They couldn't get anything going right in that one. Aaron Rodgers, 21 of 39, no touchdowns, only 168 yards. He was also sacked a couple times. Jaylen Warren did have a good time there in the running game. Maybe should have got a little bit more work. Nobody going particularly nuts in the passing game, but they also weren't at full strength. Defensively, they were great. Gave up only 13 points. Sacked Shitter Sanders twice, picked him off twice, shut down the running attack, basically shut down the pass. This is really just a game where the offense failed to get the job done. And if they can do a little bit better, it could be a whole different story. Now, DK Metcalf still being suspended. Pretty bad, pretty dumb. They're going to be missing him in a big way. But I think we see Jaylen Warren, Calvin Austin, maybe even Adam Thielen and Pat Freiermuth step up big time in this game. The defenses are also fully healthy and ready to go. TJ Watt back out there makes a big difference. So looking at the numbers here, guys, the Steelers are getting 3.5 points. They're getting over a field goal. We've got a total of 40.5. Baltimore's 4-3 against spread on the road this year. They're 10-6 to the over. The Steelers are 4-3 against spread at home themselves. They are 8-7-1 to the over. I don't hate the idea of taking over 40.5 here in this big primetime game, but better than that, guys, I'm definitely taking the Steelers here at +3.5. This could be our dog of the day. The Ravens defense is terrible against the pass, and I'm more than happy to back Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin here as underdogs. In this series, since 2005, the underdog is 30, 12, and 3 against the spread. In the regular season, the underdog in this matchup is 25 and 7 against the spread with these two teams and these two coaches. Lamar under center, I think, is actually a good thing for the Steelers as opposed to being a good thing for the Ravens. He's clearly very, very limited out there. Guys, that's all the games we have for today on a very busy Sunday of NFL football action. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets. And just as a favor to me, let's see if we can get over 500 likes. Make your New Year's resolution to subscribe to this channel and to make sure you like every single video. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I'm more than happy to get back to you. I appreciate everybody that watches these videos. Big shout out to my all my YouTube channel members. Big shout out to all the guys that get over to stumpthespread.com every day and check out all the great stuff we offer over there. Click the link in the description to get over there. Get on that email list at stumpthespread.com, and we'll see you guys right back here tomorrow, same time, same place, for more sports betting action.